This is Ben's thigh, and that's the pig, but there's a lot of them scattered throughout Topanga Canyon. Do we know why?
I think just, you know, it's just weird shit.
I'm Phil Gaimon. I was a pro cyclist for 10 years, racing all over the world. Now I'm retired, but I'm not done suffering on my bike, climbing mountains as fast as I can, and going on crazy adventures. I couldn't be the best at racing, and I'm definitely the worst at retiring. Welcome to Worst Retirement Ever.
So a couple years ago, I remember this Rafa ad. They were introducing their new cargo bib shorts or something, and they had examples of people who used them. So one was like this guy in Spain who, yeah, I put an orange in my thing and I ride back. And another one was this girl, and she was like, yeah, I live in a treehouse in Los Angeles, and everyone was dunking on a treehouse in Los Angeles. And I was like, oh yeah, yeah, I know her. That's Kelton. That's my friend Ben's wife. You might remember Ben. Hopefully you remember Ben from my channel. Ben was the guest star of 2020. The treehouse they're referring to is where Ben and Kelton lived, which is in Topanga Canyon, which is like a weird, hippie edge of LA. It's like when you're coming north from LA on the coastal highway going to Malibu, the first hill is Tapanga, and it's this just crazy neighborhood. And we've been wanting Ben to do a tour of it to show you around, and then he moved away. Well, at first you injured yourself, and then you moved away.
Yeah.
And then now he's visiting. So we're gonna do this video, and Ben's gonna show us around this weird hippie canyon, and then I'm gonna go for the KOM. So after you injured yourself, you lost the KOM on your old street, correct?
That's true.
Like Grandview was Ben's home turf, and it was taken by one Cameron Worth. It's been on my list to avenge Ben's KOM, because right then you broke your leg and you couldn't do it. What'd you do to yourself?
Well, I broke my femur on a dirt road. We'll show you later.
You need the femur to get KOMs. It's one thing I know. So Ben's gonna show us around today, and then Muhney's here because, you know, Ben's only riding for one day, and we're not gonna not have this co-star. So it's three of us today. Cruise around Topanga with you. By the way, the black Bibs makes a cargo short too. This road, well, no, you do it.
All right, so right now we're riding on Encina side road off of Topanga Canyon by the state park. And it's just a really scenic little side street. That's a good example of the kind of...
It's all these little fingers.
Yeah.
Good fingers. Cool. Canopies, we love a canopy.
Amazing architecture.
Mm-hmm. There'd be lots of good hippie shit in Topanga, I should explain. Like, Topanga is kind of, well, it was the last place that you could afford to live in LA and be like an artist. Those wild parrots?
Oh yeah, wild parrots.
There's the Topanga wild parrots.
They're feral parrots, actually.
What does feral mean?
They were released by an old resident like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And they became feral.
Is it bred in the wild?
They bred in the wild.
That means they had sex. Thank you.
And they actually feed off of an invasive plant that I forget the name of.
Well, that's good. Invasive plant, invasive parrot.
Yeah.
Poop. Yeah. We got a feral alligator. He's feral. This is the entrance to Jurassic Park, right?
Luke Skywalker lives up here.
Does he really?
Aquaman lives up here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do they ever fight?
And
who would win? Crossover.
Who would win? Come on. Topanga has lots of fun mailboxes. That's a thing. We've got the Spirit's Nest here, the world famous Spirit's Nest. I don't know what that is. Was that chickens? What was that?
Yeah, chicken coop.
Chicken coop. Rooster. There's a horse. It's so quiet in here. How far? We're less than 10 miles from like Santa Monica as the crow flies, or as the feral parrot flies, right?
Yeah, I'd say maybe 5.
Maybe 5 miles from the city. Good 20 minutes by car with a lot of switchbacks, you know?
Single file!
Oh, you're right. We're now approaching Froggy's.
Topanga Institution.
Doesn't look great. Can you give like an executive summary of Froggy's?
Froggy's is basically like you know, it's one of our only local bars. They used to serve sushi and fish. It used to actually be a fish fry back in the day. It's kind of been shut down most of the last 8 years. I went there once, I think, when they were open for a summer. But here on the right, we have the Great Wall of Topanga that was created by a cyclist who's lived up here since the 70s, I think, whose name escapes me. I apologize. Leave it in the comments.
You haven't lived here for like a couple years now.
I didn't do my homework, okay?
Sure, yeah. Here we got a Shakespeare theater. Will Geer's Theatrical Botanicum? Theatricum Botanicum.
Shakespeare in nature. Will Geer was like a famous dude back in the day.
For what?
He was an actor, and I don't know exactly the whole story.
So he built a
for some
Shakespeare
reason
playhouse?
He wanted to camp to Topanga. I think also in the 70s, back in the golden era.
All right, we've turned back off of Topanga Canyon Boulevard on another finger.
There's a turtle man.
Surfboard, turtle man.
Is there a flying pig?
Yep.
Nice. This place was for sale for like $2 million right before we moved away. Okay. And I was really like, damn it, I wish we were rich.
This is called Paradise Lane. And now we're trespassing. Thanks, Ben. Technically, you don't know who's holding the camera. Phil might not be trespassing. In fact, who's Phil?
Yeah, I mean, you're just voiceover. You're not even here.
All right, so this is dirt. It's been some dirt, some not dirt. There is a lot of dirt. Ben, we're not gonna do more dirt today.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
talk about like top to top.
That's just a great connector between Topanga and Old Topanga.
There's a new Topanga and Old Topanga, as we've discussed in prior videos.
But it's pretty smooth.
Yeah,
You know, it's really road bikeable.
it's where that's my go-to hike with the creature. All right, this is where we turn around. Go back that way.
There was a nature rescue place back there. She had all kinds of wild cats and cool shit.
Oh, feral, not feral,
Not
not feral.
non-feral?
Yeah, not feral.
Caged?
I just like the word feral today. The other thing you gotta know about Topanga is the pig. This is Ben's thigh, and that's the pig, but there's a lot of them scattered throughout Topanga Canyon. Do we know why?
I think just, you know, it's just weird shit.
I always thought it was a barbecue store because I'm from Georgia, but there's no barbecue in here really.
You know, it's like when pigs fly.
That's Ben's trash panda. Is there a statue of that in the canyon?
No,
There's no.
this
Okay.
is my trash leg.
That's a whole trash leg.
So trash panda lives on it.
Okay, fair.
Just makes sense.
Okay, another landmark is the cat with the thing.
You got flying pigs and pussycats.
Flying, yeah, that's what it is. I just stare at this all day.
I can't stop staring. I almost hear the spoon stirring in the coffee cup.
This is the Topangster Ranch. There's a... That's not a real person, but we have done the double take on that many times, which is probably their point.
A lot of burners.
Yeah. And here's Red Rock State Park. State Park?
Uh-huh. This is the...
Why do they call it Red Rock?
I don't know. This is the scene of my second femur break.
Right.
I think that's the rock that did it.
I can't believe you haven't dug it out and like busted it up with a sledgehammer by now.
Oh, and put it on my mantle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could get revenge on that guy.
Yeah, they heard me screaming. Some people up the hill.
Oh, wild.
Came down and helped me.
I'd have taken your wallet. Yeah, it's creepy.
And a toad next to it.
If I had been up here, we're just doing a quick.
So we stopped at the, there is a little village in Topanga. There's some shops, restaurants. We stopped at Cafe Mimosa and overheard some quality hippie talk. It's really all you can call it. And then Emily's doctor, the lovely Dr. Roy, stopped by. He didn't want to be in the video. He's a very Topanga doctor, you know, like qualified medicine, all that. But he'll also like call in the evening sometimes and like read a poem.
Got a bunch of crazy stories.
Oh yeah, he's got stories. He's been a Topanga doctor since the 80s. The fire station here, nice. Now we're coming up Fernwood. There's a real nasty, steep one. So you go on Travelocity and you book a flight that says like United, and you get there and they're like, oh no, this is United Economy. The carry-on bag is another $60 and we don't give you water on this one. I always say the next step down is this. That's the new United Economy minus. Which, Ben, do we have any explanation for the giant slingshot on Fernwood?
Art.